Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the evening session of the City Council meeting. The meeting is called to order, and I'd like to ask the City Clerk to please call the roll.
All council members are present.
Would you stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then please remain standing for a brief moment of silence afterwards. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Staff, do you have any agenda changes?
Sir, we have no changes to the agenda.
Council? Okay. Because of the number of people in the audience today, and because I know that public comment is going to take a couple hours, I'd like to go ahead and start with the Personnel Commission, get that business finished pretty quickly, and then we'll go on to the main event. Hold on one second. Okay, our first applicant is Richard Nassif. Richard, are you here? Come on up, Richard.
And Mr. Mayor, while he's coming up, this is for Personnel Commission. As you recall, we have one vacancy, and the way that the Personnel Commission is made up is there are some slots on the Personnel Commission that are chosen by the City Council. There are others that are nominated by our labor groups and then endorsed or certified by the council. This, Mr. Nassif, happens to be one of those that's been requested by our labor groups.
Mr. Nassif, you can come up and speak if you'd like. If not, it's not imperative.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
If you'd like to say something to the council, this is your time.
Well, I assume you all have copies of the application. I've been a citizen of El Cajon for over 70 years. I served for 32 years on the El Cajon Police Department. And while I was there, I was the chief's designate to the Traffic Commission. Once I retired, I became a public citizen member of the Traffic Commission and served in the Traffic Commission for several years until it was disbanded. And then I was appointed to the Personnel Commission, where I currently sit. We have a great commission right now. It's members of both the public and private sector. It's a well-organized group. We do well, and I'd like to continue in that capacity. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Nassif. Any questions for Mr. Nassif? Well, thanks for your service on the commission and all the years you've given to the city of El Cajon. I very much appreciate it. All right, I'm looking for a motion.
I've known Mr. Nassif since I was at Fletcher Hills Elementary School. He was the sergeant at the time in charge of school crossing guards throughout the city. So it is my pleasure and honor to nominate him for the position on the Personnel Commission.
Second.
Before we vote, were you a crossing guard?
I was a school crossing guard.
All right. All right, let's vote.
No photos exist.
Motion carries by unanimous vote.
Congratulations, Ms. Jason. How do you want to do the swearing in?
We will do it at the next scheduled meeting for the Personnel Commission.
All right, thanks, Mr. Nassif. You can go if you'd like. Thank you. All right, our next commission is the Planning Commission. Graham, how many spots do we have open?
There's one opening right now, and I believe there are 3 applicants.
Right. Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Busby, Gavin Busby. Hello, Mr. Busby. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Nice. But
You can you have a few minutes to talk to the council and tell them why you should be on the planning commission.
all right. Well, I'd just like to say that I care deeply about planning as a thing, and have for quite a while. I'm currently working to become an urban planner, and I'm also familiar with doing community work. So far, I've worked with two nonprofit organizations, one based on a local planning initiative, Fix Pepper Drive, and then another that's a bit separate from planning called the Community Center for Research. When it comes to these various different things, I know planning and I care about it deeply, and I can do the communications of when it comes to all of this. I think that these two things combine to make me one of the best people who is qualified, especially given my age. And I think that I'll be able to effectively communicate any sort of problems with anything that might occur, anything. I'll be able to accomplish the normal functions of the Planning Commission to the best, given to both my interest and my knowledge of planning and my ability to communicate. I enjoy my time.
Thank you very much. So let me see if there's some questions for you. Mr. Goebel would like to ask the first question.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. More and more of planning and land use is being dictated to us by the state. But another part of the Planning Commission has to do with hearings, conditional use permit hearings, even sometimes challenges to whether people are complying with their conditional use permit. If you were a hearing officer on the Planning Commission and there was a decision whether to continue or revoke a conditional use permit for compliance, how do you get to the point where you can decide what you're going to vote for?
I assume, well, I would undertake the idea that anyone would. I would look at the relevant information, say the laws, the ordinances, anything that may particularly relate to the ordinance. I'll listen to the evidence that all sides have to offer, and through that, and through potential counsel from anyone else, I will decide what it is that what the correct decision to be made, both under the laws and ordinances and what I think is personally right, will be made.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, thank you for applying. We appreciate your interest in the position, and that's exciting that you're studying urban planning. I guess my question surrounds around frequently the Planning Commission and sometimes the council receives projects or issues that private property rights and the community and the neighborhood come in conflict. And so what's your ideas and thoughts on how you balance those two? And talk to me about maybe some ways you might find resolution.
Well, I think the most important thing is to maintain the prosperity of El Cajon while also allowing the most amount of people within your area to be as happy as possible. So I think that ultimately, if a decision will allow for the continued prosperity of El Cajon, it's ideally the one that I'd like to make. Hopefully, you would work to combine a solution that is able to both help both help the concerns of the community and allow you to potentially allow investments from private firms.
Gary?
We've had some problems over the last 23 years since I've been on the council with retailers selling alcohol and tobacco to children. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it is of utmost importance that alcohol and tobacco don't be sold to people who are underage. I think that the current laws that we have are not the best at dealing with this. I am afraid to say that I don't know exactly what would be what would be the exact path going forward to prevent these purchases from being made, because at a certain point you're just expending too many resources to deal with the problem, and it's still not being solved.
Well, if we catch someone, they may appeal it, and that may affect their conditional use permit with the city.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think that people who engage in selling alcohol to minors and tobacco should absolutely be penalized to the fullest extent that they possibly can. I think.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Any other questions from the council? Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Mr. Ivan Cruz. Hello, Mr. Cruz. Welcome.
Mayor, Council, I prepared a statement, if that is allowable for me to read to you. Thank you.
Please.
Before I continue, good evening, staff, and everyone present. Thank you. My name is Ivan Cruz. I am here to present my candidacy for the position of Planning Commissioner with the City of El Cajon. So I thank you for this opportunity. I'm a local San Diegan, born, raised, and educated here. I became an El Cajonian in 2023 after purchasing a home with my wife, who I should say is a raised El Cajonian, went to Christian high school, so forth, so she's been here for most of her life. We became parents in 2024 to a little boy, so he will be raised here as a fellow El Cajonian as well. A bit more about me. I've been in public service for just about 10 years through my employment with the County of San Diego. I've been fortunate to work on a wide range of assignments, ranging from frontline constituent work to most recently working on executive level strategy planning through the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer. I've also had the opportunity to work on planning projects in the context of affordable housing developments in the county's unincorporated communities. To supplement this professional experience, in 2022, I graduated from San Diego State University with a master's degree in public administration. This education also included seminars and courses in urban planning. In the last decade, I've honed my technical and theoretical knowledge base to make me a well-rounded civil servant, which I believe has primed me to be successful in this appointment that I am seeking today. I am interested in becoming a part of this planning commission because I believe it plays a key role in our residents' quality of life. It is instrumental in developing our communities into safe, thriving, and healthy areas. It impacts the city's most critical issues, such as homelessness, safety, and economic growth. I want to be part of this commission to do my part to help El Cajon fulfill its promise as a valley of opportunity. I also want to join it to uphold the tenets of fairness, due process, and effective governance. To do my part to ensure that this commission remains a community resource and does not become one more bureaucratic hurdle for our residents to clear. My wish is to help El Cajon be the best place to live for all El Cajonians. While I have tremendous respect for the many years of service from commission members, I believe that this commission stands to benefit from fresh perspectives and new faces. This is especially relevant as new generations are becoming engaged in government. Our local government bodies, therefore, should also reflect this fact if we wish to keep an engaged citizenry moving forward. It is my hope that I have effectively demonstrated my capacity and interest in this appointment. Thank you for your time, and I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that. Questions? Gary?
I'm going to ask the same question as I asked the previous applicant. What are your thoughts regarding the sale of alcohol and tobacco to children?
I believe that businesses that engage in that kind of practice should be held to account, and that should be processed through our code enforcement. The Planning Commission, as in whatever purview that is allowed, should also have a hand in that, but I believe that they should be held to account to eliminate that practice that is harmful to our communities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve?
Same question. Sometimes you're called upon to be a hearing officer. How do you gather the information you need to make a decision?
Thank you. I believe first and foremost, listening with intent, listening to all parts involved, gathering all the information that is necessary, convening with fellow commission members, with staff, asking for that technical expertise where that is necessary. I think those steps go a long way in finding an appropriate resolution. I know that those conversations sometimes aren't easy, or those processes aren't easy. I understand that. But I believe that when we approach the issue with good intent, with the intent to resolve it, with the best interest of all parties in mind, I think we will come at a good end. Thank you, Councilmember.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same question that I asked the previous applicant. How do you balance, the private property rights versus the community, neighborhood, expectations?
Thank you. Yes, I believe that is an important balance to strike in all decisions that we make as a local government. I think as a government, our primary purpose is to look out for the interests of our constituents, look out for their safety, for their prosperity, and so forth. But at the same time, I do respect the private right to enterprise and to do business and to do those things that of course, are just part of our community as well. So, again, my thought is that if we listen with intent, if we do our due diligence, and as I mentioned in my statement, our due process, hearing all parts, giving all parts the opportunity to express themselves and present their positions, we will reach a positive end. Thank you, Councilmember.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you for coming in, Mr. Cruz. What are your 5-year goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that question. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Number one, being on a personal level, being a father to a perfect little boy who I just love. But on a professional level, I think I see myself more involved in local government already. I hold employment with the County of San Diego. So as a bureaucrat, that has given me a vast breadth of experience. So for one, I do see myself becoming more involved, advancing my experience base, and again, just becoming more involved. I think it's no secret to us that our government at all levels really is facing a challenge. So I think it's our responsibility as citizens to be part of it.
Okay. Question, and this is maybe related to one of my colleagues' questions. You have two residents come in. One resident owns the property. There's been a walkthrough for 20, 30 years. A couple of generations have used a cut-through to someone's property. New owner comes in for that property that's been trespassed, let's say, for lack of a better term, for many years. They come to you, and the new owner says, I want my property back. I pay taxes on this. This is what I want to do. And the neighboring residents are not real happy about that because they've been using it as a cut-through so that they don't have to go on the busy streets. How would you approach that, making that decision? Because that is something that might come up. They might come to you.
Thank you for that question. I think that one thing that I would want to review is for example, the zoning, or the parcel. See exactly where that variance, so to speak, took place, and again avail myself of the technical expertise of staff, of council, hear both parts. I understand that in the scenario that you've presented, things have just been the way they've been for a while. And while I can understand the benefit or the drawback if that little cut through were to be removed, we do have to approach the issue from, again, what does the code say, what does the ordinance say, or what does the zoning ordinance say? I think I would approach it with a technical lens first, and then want to hear both sides and see and move forward.
And this was a situation that came before council. I don't know if that situation has come before Planning Commission, but it is something that does come up, and I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And then Mr. Sotile, Mr. Anthony Sotile. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Council members, thank you for this opportunity to interview. As you know, you have seen my application. I've been in the Planning Commission for 20 years now. And my experience has been in the community. First of all, my education was in business management and languages. And also, I was in the Army. I was an Army medic as well. But I went into the insurance business for about 40 years. And while I was doing my insurance business, I was involved in the community. I was involved in ministry through my church. And also, I was a school administrator for Logos Academy as well. And of course, I've been in the Planning Commission for 20 years. So my experience has been extensive insofar as community life is concerned. Insofar as being a professional planner, I am not a professional planner. However, you know, do you want somebody who's a professional planner to be in the planning department or the city council? You know, where do you draw the line of demarcation from being a staff member or being a community representative? So there has to be a line of demarcation. To give you another example is school teachers. School teachers be in the school boards. I don't agree, because who does this teacher represent? Themselves? Do they represent the teachers' union, or do they represent the parents? So there is a conflict of interest in particular in that situation. But you know what my record has been, and my has been is to be as fair to the people of El Cajon, with the zoning in mind, with justice in mind, and also the property rights of all individuals involved. I'm open to questions.
Gary, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll ask you the same question. What are your thoughts on stores that sell alcohol and tobacco to children?
Oh, absolutely not. I was part of the deemed approved regulations that was implemented many years ago. We need to protect our children. I know it is primarily the responsibility of parents to protect the children, but as a city, we need to come behind the parents and help the parents to protect the children, not just let them go on their own. So we should protect the children from being involved in drugs or alcohol, because if we don't, eventually we're going to pay one way or another through criminality, through juvenile delinquency, and other criminal aspects.
You have been a hearing officer, so I won't ask you that question since I'm familiar with that. But maybe you mentioned demarcation between council and staff. What draws that line? When does the commission get too far into the staff's work?
Well, if you're a professional and you belong to, for example, to a professional union, of course, you know, your passion is for that profession. So you've got to remember, you're a public official and you represent everybody in the city, everyone in the city. So your primary concern should be the citizens and the city, but not your profession. Because if we allow the profession to come into the community presence, what will happen is that the entire city will be run by professionals, not by the community. For example, like we have right now, the state of California is dictating to the communities how they're to develop the land. It's not, legislation by bottom up, it's from the top down. In other words, what they're doing is they're eliminating the planning department because the state is dictating to the planning department what they ought to do, and the community is not involved in that.
Thank you. I'm going to switch up my question since you have been an officer or commissioner for a number of years. I guess my question would be, you've been in El Cajon for a long time. You've seen it change. What are some of the areas of opportunity with regard to development in the different parts of El Cajon that you see could be improved, that's underutilized, and what kind of cast some vision, to see what would that look like
Well,
for you?
we're a government agency. We should not dictate to people what they need to do or to businesses. We should have incentives for the business to be promoted. For example, in Parkway Plaza, we might have an incentive where somebody moves into Parkway Plaza, you won't pay taxes for a year or 2 years, whatever. So you incentivize, but you cannot tell somebody, no, you have to go here and open up the business in this way, because that's kind of like a dictatorship. So we need, as a community, to incentivize for businesses to come here to El Cajon, and also incentivize for people to come and work here. So we have an environment in which crime is down, that we don't have garbage everywhere. We need to make the community beautiful as best as we can as government officials.
All right, thank you, Mr. CTL. I appreciate it very much.
Sure.
All right, open for a discussion or a motion?
I would like to nominate Mr. Cruz for the Planning Commission. I think that he brings some youth that we could use on the commission. He does have goals for further work in the city, and that's something that we need.
Well, I want to thank all the applicants, Mr. Sotili, Mr. Cruz, and
I'm sorry, Phil, before you speak,
please.
I want to see if there's a second for her motion.
All right.
Okay, now you may go on.
To the clerk, I accidentally hit another button instead of my mic. So thank you to Mr. Busby, Mr. Cruz, and Mr. Sotiles for applying. Mr. Gavin Busby, I'm very impressed. I'm not sure where you are in the crowd, but I'm very impressed with you. I'm very excited. There he is. I'm very impressed with you, very excited for your future. You did great speaking up here, and I would encourage you to keep volunteering within the city. A lot of people that are chosen for these boards, commissions, or Prop O is another area. They've been volunteering for a number of years in the city, and they've also applied for a number of times as well. So keep going. And Mr. Cruz, your professionalism is exceptional, outstanding. Your knowledge is seems well beyond your years. So I appreciate your perspective and your experience at the county. You're aware of code and processes, and that is very valuable in a role like this. And I would tell you the same thing. Continue volunteering and being involved in the community at large. And if you don't get it this time, please continue to apply. Like I said to the other applicant, it takes multiple times. And Ms. Sotili, thank you for volunteering your time to the city for so many years. I think all of our applicants are qualified. I'm going to nominate Mr. Sotili. I would nominate Mr. Sotili, but I'm going to wait for a motion. Actually, I'll make the motion to nominate Mr. Sotile for the Planning Commission.
Second.
I don't know if anybody else wanted to make comments or.
Well, there's been a motion on the table, and it's been seconded, so I'm going to ask for a vote, unless somebody wants to make a substitute motion. Okay, please vote. Congratulations, Mr. Sotile. All right, we're now at public hearings. I'm sorry, public comment. At this time, any person may address a matter within the jurisdiction of the City Council Housing Authority successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency that is not on the agenda. Comments relating to items on today's agenda are to be taken at the time that the item is heard. State law prohibits discussion or action on items not on the agenda. However, council, authority, and agency members may briefly respond to statements or questions, and an item may be placed on a future agenda. We're going to limit the time to 2 minutes tonight, and I want to tell everybody that we're going to have to stop speaking when the 2 minutes is up, because if, out of politeness, a lot of times I let people go a little bit past, but unfortunately, there's always criticism that I'm choosing sides or playing favorites. So just to take that off the table, we're going to end at 2 minutes, and then we're going to have to stop. So let's go ahead and start calling the first app.
Thank you, sir. We have 17 speakers. The first speaker will be Mr. Gary Kendrick.
See, could you turn on the timer, please? Because I have to limit myself to the 3 minutes. You know, I was really shocked at the murders in Minneapolis. And please be quiet so I can speak. And a lot of you may not know this, but my mother was in Czechoslovakia when the Nazis came in, and they drug away a lot of her Jewish friends. In fact, today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And I can see our country kind of going in that direction, and there's something wrong when innocent people are murdered. And our government had a big hand in that, and I just can't keep quiet about that. I got to speak up, because a lot of people in Nazi Germany didn't speak up. And what happened was that they first came for the people that were disabled and gassed them, and then they came for priests, Catholic priests, because they didn't agree with Nazism, and they put them in concentration camps and murdered them. And they came for others. Any people that didn't look like them or love like them or have a lack of religion like them, they killed them all. In fact, they also killed not only priests, but pastors, people that weren't Catholic, and that was a Catholic country at the time, mostly Catholic and Lutheran. So I think, oh, I'm already out of time. Okay, I'm not used to having a time limit up here.
Our next speaker is Allison Smith. Allison Smith. Our next speaker is Allison Smith.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Wells and council members. I want to thank you for cooperating with all of our law enforcement agencies. Thank you for cooperating with ICE, DHS, Border Patrol, and our local police and sheriff. Excuse me, this is my time. Under Biden, we saw millions of illegal aliens cross our border. This is my time, be quiet. Just this past Sunday, I was out visiting a friend in Campo, out on Shockey Truck Trail, and he said that they used to come through all the time. Nothing you could do about it while Biden was the president. Hundreds of illegal aliens coming through his property. As soon as President Trump took office, zero, zip, nada. So thanks to President Trump, too. Be quiet, just let me speak. Now, I think we can all agree that we don't want criminals in this country, even those of you on the other side of the aisle.
Okay, all right, let's stop for a second. I'm not. Okay, this is situation.
You'll have your turn.
Ma'am?
You'll have your turn.
Ma'am, I'm talking to you in the front row there. Yes, Mayor Wells. You need to be quiet. Have respect and let people speak.
Bingo.
How many? We're playing Nazi bingo tonight. So,
thanks to our city council.
No, ma'am, hold on a second.
Sure.
What I want to say is I'm going to let everybody speak. I'm not going to interrupt you. I want you to treat this like we're all Americans and be polite. Okay? And if you can't be, I've got many things at my disposal to make this go all night or to make this end or to have you removed. So please don't make me do that. Let's just let everybody speak and treat each other with respect. Now, give her a minute and a half. That's where I stopped her. Give her a minute and a half back and let her speak.
As I was going to say, thanks to our city council, thanks to you and most city council members, we do not have ICE raids such as the ones in Minneapolis due to anti-ICE organizers and individuals like Renee Good and Alex Preddy actively inserting themselves into legal law enforcement operations with the intent of disrupting them. We don't see ICE raids here in El Cajon because we are cooperating with law enforcement agencies.
Okay.
Again,
ma'am, you've been warned. You're on your last warning. Next time you're going to be removed from the building.
Again, I want to thank you. I give gratitude to you, Mayor Wells, and most of our city council members here for cooperating with our law enforcement agencies to remove illegal aliens. Thank you.
If I can please have the next three speakers line up. If I can have the next three speakers please line up. Chris Ford, Marianne Ostermeyer, and Melissa Burrows, in that order, please.
Welcome.
Renee Nicole Good worked to keep her neighbors safe before she was murdered by an ICE agent. She was shot 3 times in front of her wife, her community, and the world. She was 37. Alex Jeffrey Preddy worked as an ICU nurse for our veterans for exercising his First and Second Amendment rights. He was murdered by Border Patrol agents. His last actions were to help someone who had been shoved to the ground right before a psychopath emptied at least 10 rounds into his back. He was 37. In 3 weeks, I will be 37. It is my earnest hope to contribute a fraction of the good that Renee and Alex brought to this world. But I am now compelled to wear this during protests because I could be next. Like Renee and Alex, I'm considered a domestic terrorist by the federal government, simply for participating in nonviolent actions. Wells, Goebel, Ortiz, you assured us that your resolutions placed public safety above all else. Because of you three, I have never felt less safe in this city than I do now. While you charlatans sit behind your empty words, I sit at home, wondering if I'll be the next headline. While you remain in office, El Cajon is at risk. The people can't wait another year for you to learn empathy. To everyone listening, shut the system down this Friday. No work, no school, no shopping, justice for Alex, Renee, and all those harmed by ICE. Abolish ICE.
Ma'am, can you pull the microphone down, please, so we can hear you? Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello, El Cajon City Council members and citizens. In December, I was involved in an auto accident on First Street in Naranka. No one was hurt, but afterwards I questioned why there is no arrow there to help make a left-hand turn down Naranka. The school has so many cars dropping off and picking up kids. The traffic becomes massively congested immediately. And when you add on the food assistance that is given away at the church, it simply compounds the problem. That entire area is high density. Has your traffic division ever taken a 48-hour traffic study for it? If not, you need to add that to its honey-do list. When I had the accident, your police officers showed up and were more than professional. They dealt with the crazy driver and also were more than helpful to me. I could not find my insurance card because I was rattled. The officer was patient and told me he did not want to give me a citation. He waited until I got my insurance company on the phone without stressing me even more. I am thankful, and as I look back, I see how horribly it could have evolved without a highly trained officer handling the situation. Huge kudos to the El Cajon Police Department. With this in mind, I do hope that you rethink your decision regarding SB 54, the California Values Act. I simply do not understand the thought process in your votes. I really do not. Our officers have enough on their plates without having to get involved in ICE's often irrational practices. Our officers are highly trained and pretty darn professional. In order to get feet on the ground, the DHS has reduced qualification requirements. As a matter of fact, training hours have been reduced to 47 days, and some are put to work without completing background checks. Why would you even consider placing our officers in a situation like that? Seriously? ICE agents are making big bucks. My guess, way more than our
Ma'am, your
beginning
time
officers.
is up. I'm sorry.
You all need to look at the demographics of El Cajon.
Ma'am, please relinquish the microphone. Ma'am, you're being rude. Why would you do that?
After Ms. Burrows, if I can please have Christine Spar, Chuck Kay, and Will Kopak line up, please.
Good evening. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to see your presentation you were going to present tonight, Mr. Kendrick. So I was here to support that, so I'm very sorry. I'm here to read the family statement from the Preddy family regarding the murder of their son, Alex Preddy. We are heartbroken, but also very angry. Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends, and also the American veterans whom he cared for as an ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital. Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. I do not throw around the hero term lightly. However, his last thought and act was to protect a woman. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. He has his phone in his right hand, and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman ICE just pushed down, and all while being pepper sprayed. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. I would like to thank Council Member Gary Kendrick for listening to his conscience and showing humanity by suggesting that this body reconsider their agreement to cooperate with ICE. As you have all seen from the videos of the murders committed by ICE in Minneapolis, the members of ICE are not following the law. They are behaving recklessly, violently, and with complete disregard for human life. I live and work in El Cajon. As a citizen and as a member of the workforce in El Cajon, I value my positive working relationship with the El Cajon Police Department. This relationship was not always positive. I remember a time in the 1990s when El Cajon police would pull over cars exiting school parking lots for seatbelt violations and then step aside while Border Patrol agents drug off parents for being undocumented. I remember a time in 2016 when El Cajon police found themselves in the middle of a controversy because of a police shooting that might have been better responded to as a mental health crisis. El Cajon PD has changed a lot since the 1990s and even more since 2016. Today, our police officers go out of their way to support community, participating in family-friendly events, donating their time with community charities, and collaborating productively with local schools. Forcing these professional officers to cooperate with the hastily hired, woefully trained, and lawless ICE agents would jeopardize ECPD's good standing with the community. Our children need to feel comfortable and safe around law enforcement. El Cajon is a very diverse community. You represent this diverse community. No one here wants to be murdered for peacefully standing up for their beliefs. I urge you to take a stand against cooperating with ICE. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, and city staff. My name is Chuck Kay, and I am a candidate for El Cajon Council District 1. Let me start by saying this clearly. People can disagree with federal policy and still respect the rule of law. Compassion and accountability are not opposites, and El Cajon deserves leaders who understand that balance. That's why I'm concerned about the choice my opponent has made tonight. When a sitting city council member partners with a party known for extreme positions, hostility towards law enforcement, and ideological protest politics, it sends the wrong message about priorities. This isn't about silencing speech, it's about judgment. El Cajon is not a stage for national political theater. Our city council exists to solve local problems. Public safety, homelessness, small business recovery, infrastructure, and quality of life for working families. Those issues demand practical leadership, not alliance driven by ideology. I believe we can demand human treatment for immigrants while also recognizing that laws matter and that public safety matters. Demonizing all enforcement doesn't make communities safer. It makes cooperation harder and trust weaker. I'm running because I believe El Cajon deserves leadership that brings people together, not leadership that aligns with the political extremes to score headlines. During my 34 years in law enforcement, I demonstrated my ability to work with anybody and everybody. I want to work with people who are focused on real solutions for the city, but I won't outsource my judgment to fringe movements that don't reflect the values of our community. This election is a choice between symbolic politics and serious local leadership, between national ideology and neighborhood results. I'm choosing results. I'm choosing El Cajon, and I hope the residents of El Cajon will too.
After Mr. Kopak, if I can have Ramses L. Alexander Kraft and Alicia Aguayo, please.
Hello, I'm Will Kopak. Yeah, I don't exactly live in El Cajon. I am an East County resident. Please join me for a 10-second moment of silence for Renee Good and Alex Pretty, all of you in the room. Okay, so where do I begin? So I want to talk about the ICE vote that this council made last year. I want to thank Gary Kendrick and Michelle Michaud for voting their conscience. The same cannot be said for Il Wells, Il Ortiz, and Steve Gobos. You guys are a cancer to El Cajon with your vote on ICE. Yeah, this vote is costly, is going to cost El Cajon money. It's going to cost people lives, and it's probably going to cost you your jobs for the 3 who voted yes on ICE cooperation with police. We're coming for you because we can't afford your hateful leadership. We're going to do everything to vote you out in 2026. And when you guys are gone, we'll say, na, 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 hey, hey, hey.
Hi.
Hello. I want to start off by saying thank you, Mr. Kendrick. Your speech earlier today during the press conference was very nice. It meant a lot hearing your family's experience. You know, I'm Mexican, so and legal at that, so you can't say shit about it. But there are people in this room that wouldn't see my father as a human being, and if they had the option to put him in the back of an ICE van, and even if they knew that he had legal papers, they would probably still let it happen and not do anything about it. Mind you, there's people in this room that hear that 2 American citizens were shot down in the street. Both of them straight up executed. A woman had her face blown off and her car sped into a parked vehicle. Another man was pinned to the ground by multiple men, removed of his legal weapon, and executed. And people will defend that. And mind you, this is the Republican crowd that for years has stated, what will we do when tyranny comes? We will use our guns in the Second Amendment. And then when people actually do it, what do? You call them fucking terrorists. So what kind of coward shit is that? Like, I just want to say, the reality is that in the next decade, people are going to be prosecuting this stuff. And I hope Mr. Kendrick helps the future generations in prosecuting this evil. Because if we don't arrest these people, it's terrorism. It is legitimate terrorism, and it's going to happen year after year after year. So we need to put these people in jail so that they don't put our children there. Thank you.
Alexander Kraft, candidate for Mayor of El Cajon 2026. So, people of good conscience can disagree about details of economic theory and policy principles. People of good conscience cannot support state-sponsored political violence and ethnic cleansing. I applaud Councillor Kendrick for putting conscience over party and standing up to authoritarianism nationally and in El Cajon. Bill, I keep telling you this, but it seems you don't understand your job. In a representative democracy, your job is to carry out the will of the people of El Cajon, not yours. But the community keeps coming in here and telling you again and again, we want our city to protect our neighbors from state violence in compliance with state law. But instead you don't. Instead you commit crimes, you direct the police to commit crimes such as sharing the flock data, and now we're facing a lawsuit about it. And then you run to social media to brag about ignoring us because, quote, we do things differently in El Cajon. But we don't do things different. You do things different. Different from your job description. When I'm mayor, if this room is filled week after week, month after month, with El Cajon residents asking me to do something, I'll actually take it seriously, even if it's something I don't like. An awful lot of people here over the months have tried to appeal to your conscience. surrounding ICE's lawlessness and violence. But since apparently your heart has been hardened against the suffering of the weak, let me talk policies and numbers. El Cajon's population and economy hasn't grown in past decades because of your leadership. It has grown because of immigration. It wasn't long ago Main Street storefronts were boarded up. Now their signs are in Arabic. Yet your collaboration with ISIS murder and terrorism is specifically calculated to lock up and scare off the only people opening new businesses in our city.
Following Ms. Aguayo, if I can please have Peggy Meredith, Patricia Burnt, and Steph Cajon.
Good evening. I don't have a statement prepared, so please forgive me. But I want to echo some of the other speakers who have expressed their thanks to Councilmember Kendrick for standing up for his community and following his conscience. I was born in East County. I was raised in East County. I went to Grossmont High School. I own a home here in El Cajon, and my child goes to school in the Grossmont Union High School District. And some other speakers have spoken about values, El Cajon values, East County values. I've lived here my whole life. I'm 41 years old. So I think I know a little bit about what our values are. And I was taught by Grossmont Union High School teachers. I was taught by my parents, who are East County residents, and I was taught by my community that compassion and empathy are our values, that discrimination and racial profiling are wrong. When you all first took up this vote to cooperate with ICE, I reached out as a white woman and I said, it's wrong to scare our neighbors, to scare people in this community who may be undocumented. That makes us less safe. But now I am coming to you as a resident and saying that I am scared. My husband does not look like me. My children do not look like me. And they are citizens of this country. But because you have invited ICE to cooperate with our police department, and invited them into this community. And yes, there have been raids, and people have been kidnapped out of El Cajon. But it's not just undocumented people who are wrongfully scared now. It's all of us. And you have made us afraid in our own community. Shame on you.
Good evening, Mayor Wells and Council. I would be really interested to know how you support the actions of our federal government as they ignore and trample on the rights of U.S. citizens to peaceably assemble and protest. Protests in response to seeing their neighbors brutally assaulted by ICE agents who show no proper training or skills in policing as they carry out their orders without regard to our constitutional protections. Where is your compassion for your own constituents here in El Cajon to not be subjected to such brutality? We have lawful and legal, hardworking immigrants here in El Cajon that do not deserve to live in fear of such treatment by our government. You are a part of our government. We look to you to maintain our constitutional protections and not to assist in actions that ignore these protections in service of a government gone horribly wrong. Thank you.
Okay, so talking about undocumented immigrants, in this country for many years, decades, immigrants have been in the fields of the H-1, H-2 visas, and it's an accepted practice with large corporations to have the immigrants in the fields, and throughout all these deportations, many of these people have papers, and they're still taking them out of the schools, out of the courthouses, arresting judges. So these are not just people without documents, they have documents. I'm very concerned about the governance of the three gentlemen up here. Phil Ortiz, you go to a cult church. Charlie Kirk, influence there. Full MAGA, throwing out the red hats. You guys can stamp God, praise your flag, and say one nation under God. Stamp your God and think you're godly, but that doesn't make you godly at all. Your actions, God will judge you, okay? So that Foothills Church on Bradley is a cult church. It pushes the Charlie Kirk thing. Okay, Steve Gobel, I'm going to get with you next. You sat there and posted on your Facebook page, you're going to change El Cajon, so El Cajon is going to make the rest of California change. So you guys are going to fight a lawsuit to try to make every city in this state be just like El Cajon. What is that going to cost the citizens of El Cajon? What is that going to cost you? And I want to thank you, Michelle Meschel. You are wonderful. Gary Kendrick, your speech touched my heart. Bill Wells, you are abusing your office, enriching yourself. You are using the media to try to get yourself into Congress. Nobody wants you in Congress, okay? Nobody wants you in the County Board of Supervisors. You are not doing your job. You are unjustly enriching yourself. So every week I'm going to come and we're going to talk about the lawsuits that you have got this city into because you want to beat the whole state of California. How many millions is that going to cost you in attorney fees? Okay, I'm sick of you, Bill. Honestly. Yeah, you're a good musician. Talk about homeless, NGO. You're using the money yourself. So we're going to investigate you with ECLTC and see where that goes.
Good evening, council members, public, founders of Latinos en Acción, Honorada. My name is Stephanie Cajon, and thank you everyone for being out here tonight and caring. I'm so proud of El Cajon. I am reading a statement tonight on behalf of the president of Latinos en Acción, a local organization, by Mairene Branham. The only reason we showed up in this city council chamber a year ago was to warn this council about introducing resolutions that carry harmful narratives. At this same time last year, we packed this room in hopes that you would see the faces of the parents, teenagers, and children alike asking you to rescind that resolution. Instead, we watched this council attempt to circumvent the restrictions of the California CARES Act, SB 54. We watched as you manipulated your colleagues into voting yes, despite clear opposition and lack of community support. With that one action alone, you showed the brown and black community your values, your morals, and your allegiance to party over people. This same time last year, I could not imagine how far this would all go. While I anticipated that things would be very hard for our communities, I never expected the level of terror we are now seeing inflicted on our residents and citizens. Today, we stand in unison as we denounce this council's harmful narratives. My wish for El Cajon is a city council that focuses solely on unifying its residents. Unfortunately, I have lost trust in this council's ability to avoid lawsuits, avoid expensive payouts, and truly bring residents together. So for anyone watching, this is a call out to join Latinos en Acción in El Cajon as defenders and organizers. I'd like to remind you that we are not outnumbered, we are out-organized. In the words of Emma Tenayuca, a Mexican-American labor leader, our lives are poor, our dignity is rich.
The last four speakers, if you can please come forward in the following order: Carlos Gutierrez, Mary Davis, Ilka Weston, and Crystal Abraham. Mr. Gutierrez?
Hello, City Council. Thank you for being here so late, and everybody here voicing their opinions. This is just my beliefs in regards to being a native San Diegan, 100% Mexican, born and raised in San Diego, and being raised in a common sense family. So I believe we all want peace. And I believe a lot of our governors and mayors work together with the local police and the federal government and the men and women doing their jobs to protect Americans, we would all be safer. I want to say thank you to all the police officers and federal agents that are protecting Americans. If we take a look at what happened in the last 4 years from the last administration with millions upon millions, probably 30 million plus, and millions upon millions coming unvetted, undocumented, coming across our border right here into San Diego. And if you talk to any of our police officers or any of our Border Patrol agents of how many came across that were undocumented and they knew that they probably were dangerous, but they couldn't do anything with it. I just know that if we ask the question of American citizens, if we really want unvetted illegal aliens in our country, do we really want that? Do we want them? Okay. If so, I believe that they should pay for them, not the ones that do not want illegal, unvetted aliens in here, that most of them are killing a lot of people. So I'd like to ask a question. How many of the people here that do want that are willing to house them and put them in their homes? All right, there you go. Great. Well, that might be something to put on the ballot. If they want that, they can put them in their homes and let ICE come pick them up there. So the part that I don't understand...
Decorum, please.
The part that I really don't understand is why have not any of these American citizens that want these illegal aliens in here and that are killing American citizens, why are they not putting them on? Okay, well, I'm just going to say that. Why are they not putting those names?
Mr. Gutierrez, here.
Why are they not putting?
Sir, your time's up, sir.
I find it funny that nobody here that are...
Mr. Gutierrez? Mr. Gutierrez, I'm sorry, your time is up.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Just to let you know, okay, when you're ready for my time. All righty, I'm Mary Davis, and if that continues, please pause my time. I will not tolerate a heckler's veto. If you're going to do that, I will add 10 seconds every time you interrupt. So I'm telling you, I was actually going to start this out. Up until now, it's been pretty civil until that last man talked. And for the woman in the blue here, you were modeled it. You came up and you said good things, positive things, and then you aired your grievances in a civil way, and that is how we should be airing our grievances. I want us all to remember that we are the fourth branch of government. We are not going to agree on everything, but we can be civil and not polarized. And the donkey and the elephant is a distraction to keep us polarized. And so I'm saying, please try to find common ground, work together. I do think the 1939 comparison was interesting because where were you in your outcry during COVID? Remember people getting arrested on the beach? Well, absolutely, and the kids that could not go play because there was sand on the skate park to keep them out, and now we have a mental health crisis, and if there's any teachers watching, we have a literacy crisis. 22 to 25% of kids can't even meet reading level, or are reading, and the rest can't. We have a literacy and a mental health crisis, and it goes back to COVID. 10 seconds, please. I got heckled. I will not tolerate a heckler's veto. I'm very serious. I will not tolerate a heckler's veto here.
I'll give you a little more time at the end.
Thank you, because we need to stand up for our rights. And again, we have a county that actually will not let us clap. I would like to see this kind of response. Go down to the county and ask why they're repressing our rights and we can't even clap in office. Lastly, for the people that want ICE here, I just want to read a few of these people. Amphetamine, aggravated assault, homicide, sexual assault, rape, and these were... Thank you for that extra 10 seconds. I will keep going. These are all people, and I would like you to know, weapons offense, cruelty towards wife. These are the people that you want to shield in sanctuary. Go to www.dhs.gov, and that will be the worst of the worst. Lastly, this is the price of sanctuary, the collateral damage. These children all died at the hands of illegal immigrants.
Thank you.
This is who you are shielding and what you...
That's nice.
So I really want to point that out before my 2 minutes begin.
Murderers, that's not okay.
Well, what I'm here for is
But
for a
hold
very
on
clear...
a second. We're almost done, guys. Just keep your comments to yourself and let the speakers speak. That's all we have to do. And then we can get out of here.
Well, one thing I really realized, and I wasn't going to start off with tonight, is it's obvious that all these people right here need education. Not all of them. Not the people with ICE out. I guess you guys weren't in school on the day that you learned that this is where indigenous people own the land.
Ma'am, I'm going to have to
Okay,
ask you.
I'll go ahead and I'll address it to you.
Yeah, thank
Sir, indigenous people own this land. That is a connection with our Mexican brothers and sisters. At the beginning of every meeting, we should be having a land acknowledgement. There was no under God until 1958. That is how the Pledge of Allegiance was formed. But here's the part that blows my mind. We were here a year ago, and yes, you behave very much like, what is that guy, Bavino, but look at you. You're an embarrassment. You don't know who Bavino is? Gregory Bavino?
I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
The guy that just got sent? Okay, I want us to go back in time a year ago when we were all here and you, like a whining little baby, said, I had to put up with Biden, so now you guys have to put up with Trump, and this is the way I feel. You are a childish man. You are going to lose your seat there, and you are an embarrassment, and your wife is an embarrassment for working with mental health patients.
Hey, keep my wife out of it. That's really uncalled for. I'm going to kick you out if you do that
You
again.
know what? It says clearly that you and your wife have worked with mental health patients. So if you've worked together, that is a team. And I am calling you out because if you have worked with mental health patients, you know the diabolical behavior that is happening, the destruction of El Cajon. I was born and raised here. Our El Cajon Police Department used to put on dances at the El Cajon High School. They are hardworking individuals. You forced them to work with ICE, but they didn't bother because they know you are an embarrassment. You couldn't even be, yes, you're a Hitler regime. We know that. But we do know who our leaders are, and that is Councilman Kendrick. And
Okay, your time is up. Your time is up. Ma'am, you need to sit down. Hi. Go ahead.
Hello. Hi. Okay. My name is Crystal Abraham. I was born here in El Cajon. I live here. I raised my children here. And I just want to thank you all for showing up to our community and to our neighborhood and standing up against what we are seeing. I want to thank you, Gary, because thank you for your speech. Thank you for standing up for our community members. Thank you in this time of complete disconnect and tyranny that is happening. I've lived here my whole life. I'm raising my kids here. I'm Chaldean, born and raised here, and as you probably all know, that's most of the business owners that own businesses on Main Street. I go to the Chaldean Church. I'm part of many of your constituents here. I represent the demographics here. I'm not going to speak on their behalf, but I will say for any of you who don't know who Chaldeans are, we're the Christians from Iraq. I'm a proud daughter of immigrants. My parents came here. They worked hard. They lived the American dream to give us an amazing life here, and we love it. I love El Cajon. I love my brothers and sisters here. I love seeing our community. I was raised here. We did the Friendship Festival when we had that. I think Alexander Kraft, you talked about this, and that was one of my core memories growing up, was a Friendship Festival that was here. And I want to say, as a disciple of Jesus, I don't want to speak on everyone, but the core principle is love thy neighbor. Whatever you do for the least of my brothers and sisters, you do to me. And so that is the legacy, and that's the principles that I'm going to live by. And I just want to say, you all could be better. You all can be better. At any point, you can choose to be better. And I'm going to end with a quote by Pope Francis, and he says this: anyone with political responsibility, which is all of you, I ask you to remember two things: human dignity and the common good. Thank you.
There are no more speakers, sir.
This brings us to the adjournment. The adjourned regular. Oh, yes, sure.
In El Cajon in the past year, ICE has removed people here in El Cajon charged with kidnapping, DUI, assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence incidents, sales of drugs, and more. These are the people that ICE has removed from the city of El Cajon, and we're safer because of it. It defies common sense that we would block ICE from removing these people from our city. At the same time, I've listened to you all. It's my turn. At the same time, there's nothing in our resolution that says we will cooperate with ICE. It says we will comply with all immigration laws, and that means we will not obstruct, impede, interfere, or otherwise block ICE from removing people who kidnap, hurt, assault, hurt their wives. And I guess it's just really sad. This is the state of conversation in America, that we can't have this conversation, that I can't state my point of view after listening to your point of view for an hour. It's really disappointing that you won't stay and listen to my point of view. We have a conversation. This is what's wrong with America.
All right. This brings us to the adjournment. Unless anybody else wants to speak. The adjourned regular joint meeting of the El Cajon City Council, El Cajon Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency, held this 27th day of January 2026, is adjourned till Tuesday, February 10th, 2026 at 3 o'clock p.m. May God bless you all.